Good morning, Internet. This is the old fat dad. Welcome back to another beautiful day on the Goober Nation gun range. Today, we're going to look at the difference between hunting ammo and self-defense ammo. Let's go to the table and check out what we got. First up, I've got CCI's SGB ammo, so that's the small game bullet, and it is a 40 grain lead flat nose, and it's going 1235 feet per second. And we're going to compare it to Federal's punch ammo. So this is also a flat nose bullet, but it's only 29 grains, and it's rated at 1070 feet per second out of a 2-inch barrel. We don't have the barrel rating for our SGB ammo, but we're going to guess that 1200 feet per second is probably from a much longer barrel. To test out the rounds, we're going to use the Heritage Rough Rider Snubby, and we'll use the Taurus TX22. The Snubby has a 2-inch barrel, and we've got a 4-inch barrel in the TX22. And I'm going to throw a wild card round into there, and this is a bullet that isn't designated either way as small game or personal defense. This is just a really crazy weird one. It's the Aguila Sniper Subsonic that is 60 grains. Huge bullet, and it's going to only go 950 feet per second. At least that's the rating from the manufacturer. Why throw this absolutely weird bullet in there? Well, the claims for these two guys is that their flat nose bullet design is going to be really good at penetrating. And I'm just curious to see whether this guy here that doesn't make any claims whatsoever and is going very slow will actually do a better or maybe worse job at penetrating. Let's find out. Our test mediums today are going to be the Ballistic Modeling clay, and we will also use the handy dandy small game simulator, which is dog food, tough skin, meaty interior. And we're going to go ahead and start it all off with some shots at the small game simulator. Let's start off with the punch round on the far left. Alright, let's switch over to the SGB in the middle. And finally the Sniper Subsonic, Aguila Sniper Subsonic, far right. Just a tiny little pop out of that guy. Let's check out the results. Let's check out the punch first. Got a tiny little hole there. Decent sized hole out the back. Nothing crazy there. Then this one actually is the surprise round, at least for me. Here is the SGB. Again, a tiny little hole in, but on the back we have a significant amount of damage. That's way more than the punch. Just to compare side by side, SGB, punch. As you can see, a really good amount of damage out the back with the SGB. Finally, we've got our Sniper Subsonic. Tiny little hole in, and just a little bit bigger on the way out. We're going to start our Ballistic Modeling clay shots out with the Federal punch. We got our little piece of clay up front, and then a big piece of clay to stop any pass-throughs. Let's see how she does. Solid hit, let's check it out. And it went all the way through. Federal punch, living up to its name. Decent bit of expansion. Came out the back and into our second block of clay. And if we can get the right angle, we can probably see that that bullet is sitting right there, just inside that hole. All right, now for the punch out of the tiny pistola. Let's see how I did. Nice sized hole there with the little Heritage Rough Rider. Not as big as out of the Taurus, but that's to be expected. Came out the back on the bottom there, and she's into the second block of clay. Quite a bit more than our first shot. Let me dig that out. We've got quite a bit of difference between the punch through that short barrel and the punch through the Taurus barrel. Heritage 2-inch and then Taurus 4-inch. We've got lots of mushrooming out of our Taurus and zero expansion out of the snubby nose there. Also, out of the snub nose, we penetrated about 3 times as far into our second block here. Alright, new block, new bullet. We got the CCI SGB. Let's see how she does. Let's check it out. Here's that SGB out of the Taurus. We got full pass through there. The entry is pretty close to the same size as the exit. I can see there's some expansion inside, but not a crazy amount. And then we are into our second block right there, and I can just barely see that bullet in the back. I'll dig it out though so we can look at it. And now the SGB out of our snubby. Let's check her out. And a much smaller hole out of the snub nosed. Did it go all the way through? Why, yes it did, and interestingly, about the same size out the back as the Taurus, and we are into the second block with an oblong shaped hole, so I believe this bullet was tumbling. Let's check it out. My, what a difference a couple inches makes. Snub-nosed, almost no expansion out of the SGB, but the Taurus with a 4-inch barrel, we see a decent amount of expansion up front, and just a big difference there. From 4 to 2 inches. Pretty interesting. Final round, the Aguila Sniper Subsonic. Such a quiet round. Let's go check out the damage. Just a tiny little hole going in with the Aguila Sniper Subsonic, but it did go all the way through, and you can see that this is a much bigger hole coming out the back and kind of ovally shaped for the path going through the clay. So this round is tumbling indeed, and we can see that on our second block for certain. It is going sideways and it is in there deep. Let me pull it out. Final shot of the day with the Aguila Sniper Subsonic. Little pistol. Let's see how she does. Check it out. Again, quite a tiny hole going in for our Sniper Subsonic, and not quite a big hole going out the back, but definitely getting oblong there, and that is indisputable. That thing was going sideways, and I think I see something in the back there. Can you guys see it? Yeah, there's daylight here. It went through this crack here. Let me open that up and see if I can figure out how this bullet flew out the back. So it appears out of the Rough Rider snubby, the bullet hit here and went this way and skipped out the back there, but it kind of entered into this already disturbed area of the clay. I didn't pack this big old block in too much before I put it back there. Did not expect anything to go that far, so let me see if I can pack it up. I'm going to take another shot and see if it goes all the way through. Check it out. But there's our tiny little hole in. Quite a large hole coming out. Immediately started going down, and there it is going into the second piece of clay, and it did not go all the way through. So let's dig it out. And here's that channel going into that second piece of clay, and it is all the way down to my knuckle. So a good inch past where the first one went, and definitely past where the punch went. Sitting sideways. Crazy little bullet. I'm going to pull it out. Here is the recovered bullets side by side, and as you can see, we got expansion with the punch and the SGB out of our Taurus 4-inch barrel, and no expansion with the 2-incher. And there's absolutely no difference between the two bullets coming out of the Sniper's Subsonic. Quite an interesting set of results. Nothing penetrated as deep as the Sniper Subsonic, but the punch was definitely no slouch in the shorter barrel, and SGB a close second. Well, I had a good time shooting the dog food in the clay, but I'm not sure what the conclusion is here. Kind of mixed and definitely interesting results. We have a self-defense labeled ammo that does really good with penetration out of a short snubby barrel. This punch was definitely no slouch at penetrating out of that shorter barrel. Very impressive results with that. But you move up to the 4-inch Taurus, and is there really any difference between the SGB blah blah bullet, the small game bullet from CCI, and that punch? I don't know. I think the SGB might actually have done even more damage and penetrated farther out of that 4-inch barrel. And then, to mix everything up, we've got the Aguila Sniper Subsonic, just a weird little bullet, 60 grains, it's huge, and once it hits anything, it goes into this crazy tumble. And as far as penetration goes, it penetrated the best out of all of them. And when it's tumbling and penetrating, it's going to do a ton of damage. So I'm not sure what to say at the end of this. I'd be interested in hearing your comments on the subject. And that's about all I have for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.